everyone. Welcome to Shafia Monroe Consulting, Birthing Change, helping healthcare professionals, doulas, achieve cultural competency, increase clients, and improve birth outcomes. Thank you for joining me today for my Wednesday weekly chat with birth workers. So this is a chat, and my goal is that we all can participate in the conversation to the best of our ability. And so I'm going to continue talking about, hey, Kiki, thanks for joining the weekly chat. And Felicia, thanks for joining the weekly chat. And so today I want to talk about some things that we can do as birth workers, healthcare professionals, doulas, midwives, perinatal psychologists, whoever you are working out there with the birthing families, the new families, including the father, what we can do to make a difference. So we've been hearing for the last several years about the term weatherization, epigenetics, post-trauma, birth violence, and post-traumatic slave syndrome. So these are a lot of terms that have been being used in science to explain why there are certain populations who have a higher rate of losing their babies within the first year of life, as well as contributing to the increase in maternal mortality, particularly when we talk about women of color, and particularly around Black women. So recently, I've been part of a summit, a birth conference summit, and I did post it on my Shafia Monroe Consulting Facebook page, and it is the 360 Birth Summit, and there's a series of experts speaking about birth, and I'm one of those experts. But I heard a doctor speak. I've been listening to the other experts, getting familiar with their work. And there's a Dr. Thomas Verney who spoke the other day. And I encourage you, if you can get to the Better Birth 360 Summit, get it. Post up on my Facebook page. It's going to be free for a couple more weeks. And after that, you'll have to purchase this gentleman, Nicholas's excerpts that he's talking about. So try to grab it now while you can. But what Dr. Verney's talking about, as well as Dr. Sarah Buckley, two doctors, physicians, and they're talking a lot about the hormones. So I've heard about Sarah Buckley discussing oxytocin and what that can do. But what I found interesting with Dr. Verney's piece is that he's speaking about what fear, when a woman is pregnant and she has a lot of fear, there's 1 million neurons that should be going to the baby's brain in utero that get redirected. And so he mentioned things like if a woman, his or her father or family member is ill, or if there's been an accident in the neighborhood, these kind of things cause fear that can cause that to happen. So of course I had to think about women of color, particularly Black women, but women of color and poor women, what happens to them around the daily fear of police brutality, community violence, domestic violence, what's happened to children in school. These things continue to increase fear while she's pregnant. But the part that I'm happy about to explain is what I heard Dr. Thomas Verney speak about. There are 3 things that can make a difference in a woman's life. And I think why I think this is so important, because we hear about epigenetics and public health and science and weatherization and all this trauma. We're saying that basically, to a certain extent, based on what the woman's mother went through, generationally speaking, she's going to carry that in her uterus and in her body, and we can expect to look for poor birth outcomes. And they're trying to deal with that as a cause. Whether that's true or not is to be debated. But in the meantime, if that is the case, what do we do about it? Do we just say, oh, she had trauma from enslavement or from the Holocaust or reservations or poverty or, immigration on the boat? There's all these reasons. Do we accept that, or do we make a difference? And so what Dr. Thomas Verney mentioned, that these are 3 things that we can look at that can make a difference. And these are things I've kind of talked about when I do, particularly the SMC Full Circle Doula in my speeches in general. One is her relationship with her mother. So a pregnant woman's relationship with her mother is very, very important. It really does affect how her pregnancy is going to be. When I talk to the doulas in the trainings and around the country, just in general, and even birth workers in general, midwives, the first question we should always ask our pregnant mom is, where is your mother? Because the fact that her mother may not be in her life is going to cause a big issue around her pregnancy, according to Thomas Varney, Dr. Varney, and I have always agreed that. That's why I'm so excited, because I'm hearing him speak with evidence about what I've always felt innately. So it's good to have a proof now. So basically, understand the relationship between the mother and the pregnant woman. And then also another important part they mentioned was the woman's desire to be pregnant. So if she wants her baby, her outcomes are going to be a lot better. So one, she has a good relationship with her mom, foster mom, adoptive mom, biological mom. I think they really mean the biological mother, but we can expand it. Sometimes just having a good relationship with a woman figure as your mom, using more of the African-centered model where every woman's mama, and the big mama theory from down south, the community mother, we could also rely on that. But check out her relationship with her mom. And that's important because so many women that we're seeing today's mothers are not in their lives for several reasons. Incarceration, have to work 2 jobs, was killed, died. There's a lot of reasons. So that does impact, because what we know around pregnancy is that it's a taught behavior, how we take care of ourselves based on what we see the women in our communities do during their pregnancy. And so the second one is relationship with the father. How is the mother and the father getting along? And I'm glad to hear the word father, because I think it's important that even though we and I support same-gender relationships, we have not heard the word father in a long time. We say the word partner. I've had several fathers, particularly black men, saying we have become invisible in this conversation. Sorry about that. We have to bring the father back into the conversation. And what Dr. Thomas Varney is saying, that yes, when the relationship with the father is healthy, we can expect more positive outcomes with the pregnancy and maternity care in general. And so we have to go back to, when we do our outreach, look into the fathers and asking them, empowering them that they have an important role in this relationship, whether they're going to be with the mother long-term or not. As I've always told the young men out there, if you say you love your unborn, if you say you love your baby, then you have to, at the minimum, respect the mother. You have to respect her. And we say it's your job to make sure that baby grows. And you make sure the baby grows by making sure the mother eats. And so you have to provide for her. And we say we want moms to breastfeed. Well, I tell the dad, she has to produce milk. And you don't have to breastfeed, but you have to make sure she makes milk. And that is your contribution. By you making sure she eats and has low stress, you're contributing to your baby getting quality human milk. So that relationship is very important. And as birth workers, we have to start talking and teaching both parties about respectful communication, responsibility in the relationship. And then the third thing that Dr. Thomas Varney brought up was, I think I mentioned all three. The mother relationship, the importance of wanting to be pregnant, and the other part is the father. So I want to go back then to mothers wanting to be pregnant. There's so much stigma right now for women of color to have children. Even before we have the maternal mortality piece going and the Trayvon Martin cases where women are being told where black women don't want to have children because they're afraid they're going to either die in childbirth, or they're going to have their children killed prematurely, or their child's going to die before age 1. All these things are out there. And so we have to get, as birth work, we have to go back and really tell women that it's wonderful that they're pregnant. It's going to be okay. And don't breed into this thing that, oh yeah, look at these statistics, yeah, what's going to happen. No, you're going to be okay. You're going to take good care of yourself. You know what? I'm going to say to them, and I'm going to help you. I'm committed to helping you. I care about you. I love you. The fact that you're pregnant is an honor, is a blessing. It's my privilege. I'm happy to meet you. These are things we need to add to our interview process and our one-on-one talking to our clients. And if our clients allow, we need to hug our clients at the end of every single visit. We know that physical contact of hugging a person does release endorphins and releases oxytocin. And we have oxytocin. It creates a good, healthy body from the brain throughout the uterus, and et cetera, et cetera. And so we want to make her feel safe and protected. And so that verbalization, saying that, I really appreciate you allowing me to help you as your birth worker, midwife, doula. I really appreciate you let me be a part of your experience for the pregnancy, not the birth, even just the pregnancy. Let's get with the pregnancy. And I think looking at what Jenny Joseph in Florida has done, she shows that by giving quality pregnancy care, we can reduce premature births, which is one of the leading causes of infant mortality in the Black community and some communities of color. And so that quality of pregnancy care, so using the verbalization that, yes, for one, always say, it's a pleasure to meet you. That's very different than how can I help you? Thanks for coming to me. No, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to serve you. I'm committed to helping you. I'm gonna be with you. I trust that you know what's best for you. You're not alone, and that you're gonna be okay. I know that we can't guarantee their being okay, but putting out positive affirmations during pregnancy is very important. And letting her know that she has a right to have a baby, and that and help her to warn her baby. We have some clients that it's unexpected. It's their second baby 9 months apart. It's their second baby 2 years apart. It's their third baby. There's a lot of stigma for having more than one child in this country. There's a lot of stigma for having more than two children, particularly if you are a woman of color. If you're single, there's all this stigma. So the woman is often not happy with being pregnant because there's so much negativity. And we have to watch ourselves. Oh, you're pregnant? Oh, didn't you have a baby 2 years ago? Like, what's up with that? That kind of stuff, we got to squash that. You're having your second baby and it's 9 months apart. Bless you. We're going to work on your iron intake. We're going to make sure you're laying on your left side resting. We're going to give you a massage. I'm going to hug you. You're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. She's not the first person to have a baby 9 months apart. Women have done that for centuries, and they're going to be okay. Yes, we know things such as short-spaced pregnancies can cause anemia and things like that, only because women have not taken care of themselves preconceptionally or really during the pregnancy. So we're going to help them, because you as birth workers have the knowledge of what she needs to do to make sure that her iron, all those levels are where they should be, her calcium, her protein, and all that. That is our job. This is what we have sworn to do, to help women have healthy outcomes, to educate them, to empower them. As I always say, to love them. Why was the African American midwife of the 20th century so effective? If you watch the documentary, Listen to Me Good, we heard the women who were served by Miss Smith say that they felt safe with her. They knew that she was going to take care of them. And so when you know someone's going to take care of you, that means you have confidence. It means you don't have fear. You feel secure. And I'm going to say you feel loved. So we want to go back to that basic word that we have not heard anymore in the birth world, that the woman needs to feel loved and the father needs to feel valued. And if it's a partner, they need to be valued. If it's same-sex gender, they need to be valued, that partner. But particularly around Dr. Thomas Verney's statement of relationship with the father. So I'm going to end with that. Just that as birth workers, that we can commit to not using weatherization and epigenetics as an excuse of why women are having their babies too early. If that's the case, okay, that's the case. What's the next step? Do we stay stuck in that data, or do we find ways to move ourselves out of that data? And so for sure, we can move ourselves out of that data by following the 3 steps that Thomas Verney mentioned: checking the relationship with the client, the mother, and her mother. How is that relationship? That's going to tell you a lot. Also, does she want her baby? And so we say to people really quick, did you plan this pregnancy? For me, as a mother of 7 and a midwife, I find that an offensive question. Did I plan it? First of all, it's not your business if I planned it. Why do you want to know that? What does that mean? Does that mean that I'm more prone to having a poor outcome? Does that mean I wasn't responsible? Is that a judgment call? What I want to say, if anything, is that how are you feeling about your pregnancy? Not just how are you feeling. Whether I planned it or not, once I choose to keep it, to stay pregnant, then I need you to focus on that I'm keeping my baby, regardless of planned or not. Help me to have a healthy baby. So let's get back to how do we help the mother desire to have her baby, and that's by validating her pregnancy, validating her choice to be a mother, giving her hope and inspiration, being nice to her, loving her. That's what we need to do, particularly for women of color who have for so long been punished for mothering. Why are you bringing kids in this world? We don't need your children anymore. They're not valued. So we have to kind of push all that. It's all in the literature. It's in the public health. It's on the TV. It's been there forever. And so they called her the welfare mom. That was one name. Now it's called unplanned, irresponsible. So many negative terms. We have to not absorb what we hear in the media. We have to create our own culture, our traditional culture of that. We reverence the womb that bore you. We love children. We love pregnancy. We love you, and really build her up. And then lastly, I think I covered them all though. The mother, her desire to be pregnant, and respect the father. So with those things, look at your language when you do your interview, reevaluate your style of engaging with pregnant moms and the fathers if they're present. Reevaluate how you judge fathers, making sure that you let them know that they're included, they have a voice whether with the mom or not. Remind them they still have an obligation, that we need them, the babies need them, and be available for them. So with that said, I want to say that I am speaking in Texas at the Texas Birth Convention, Arlington, on July 21st. If you live in Dallas or the Arlington, Texas area, and you would like to be my guest for my presentation, then you are invited at my invitation, and so you would not have to register in the same way. So if you would like to come to that convention, we would love to have you, and you need to just email me at shafia@shafiamonroe.com and let me know that you live in the area and you want to come. Even if you want to fly in, I mean, that's up to you. Even if you want to fly in for that day, that's also okay. So let me know with that. And then in October, I will be presenting at the American Association of Birth Centers, so I'd love you to be a guest there as well. And so that's pretty much what I'm doing for those immediate things. Doing a cultural competency training in Baltimore with the Baltimore Community Doula Association on the 26th. I'm not sure if there's space left, but if you just Google the Baltimore Community Doula Association, I'm sure it will come up and you can register if you like. I will begin doing some webinars again on herbs and salves, as well as the art of African American postpartum care, and I'm going to begin the cultural competency webinars as well. So you know how to reach me at shafia@shafiamonroe.com or right here on my Shafia Monroe Consulting Facebook page. I just want to say, as I always say to you, that I so much appreciate what you're doing. It's really up to us, you all, to make the difference. You know, the moms and dads, they don't know what's going on. Birth was taken from us so long ago in the hospital, away from the women where it should have been. And so we have to go back and re-educate our communities what we used to know. We have to be patient and respectful, uplifting, empowerment to do that. And if we keep doing that, in time, we're going to see a change. I have seen a change. I've seen the moms who I help give birth to full-term babies, breastfeed for 5 years. I've seen the dads really engaged and really happy, say, you know, Mama Shafia, Sister Shafia, thank you for teaching me, telling me, respecting me, urging me, not judging me. All those things are so important. It really does make a difference. So I know that you all know because you're doing the work, but I just want to remind you, it's up to us to go into our community and make the change. You know, reach out, speak to people, educate. People don't know. It's not in the school. It's not in the faith communities. How are they going to know what we know? We took trainings for this. We go to workshops, conferences, engage in trainings. I traveled to Morocco. You're coming to trainings around the world. So they're not doing that. So we have to go back and give it to them. That's our obligation. And so thank you always for your beauty and coming on to talk and listen with me. I want you all to start having questions so I can answer questions out there for you as well. But for today, we'll just call it a day. What am I doing today? Today is Wednesday, right? Tomorrow I start my Portland SMC Full Circle Doula training. So we have women coming in from different parts of the country. So I'm getting ready for that. That's always exciting. And if you are a SMC Full Circle Doula, know that we have a SMC Full Circle Doula Birth Companions Facebook page that's just designed for you. Look for it and then answer the 3 questions. Who will you train with, where, and what year? If you fit the criteria, you'll be accepted onto that Facebook page. If you have not already, please join my e-newsletter. You'll get your free gift of a postpartum herbs, and it may be in your junk mail or spam, so check, but at www.shafiamonroe.com to join the free e-news. And so anything else I can do to help you while you don't know how to reach me. All right, I'm going to take off, and blessings for the day.